What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great night so far. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I'm just gonna say sorry. I could tell you what I was doing, but it doesn't really matter. Or now that I said that out loud, I ordered groceries. You know, I told you guys that my account got hacked a few days ago, and I haven't had a card for a couple of days, so I figured out a way to order groceries from my bank, and that's what I did. And it took a long time, and they finally just showed up. So that's what I was doing. Anyways, thank you guys so much for waiting patiently. I have got a good one tonight. We are in a new court. I This might be the first time. No, this is the first time I've ever covered it. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone else cover this court. It's an Indiana court. We've got a bench trial. Now this isn't a pro se. There's not a ton of specific drama. However, Wixom, thank you. However, we have a bench trial with a case where the defendant is charged with. I don't remember exactly what the charge is. It has something to do with theft. But not only do we have him on security cam that we actually get to see, we get to see the interview from the officer from body cam, which we get to see. And yeah, it's going to make you wonder why he took this to trial at all. There are some funny parts to it, but like I said, it's an entertaining one. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one as well. However, this is about 2.5 hours long. So depending on how tonight goes, we're probably going to make this a 2-night event. So we're probably going to finish it tomorrow night. But you don't know. Maybe this is gonna be everyone's gonna be enjoying it. There's gonna be people chatting away, and we'll just finish it tonight. It all depends on how we're feeling after about an hour, 15 hour, 20. All right, that's it for my intro. Well, let me grab these super chats real quick. Wixom, thank you so much for paying my late fee. I appreciate it. Thank you, Wixom and Vic. Colin was food fee. Yeah, no, I was not. No, I was not. I was doing something because my account got hacked. I was not doing that. I would, I have no shame in it. I would tell you if I was doing that. Like, yeah, I was in the bathroom. I probably wouldn't say I was pooping. I would say I was in the bathroom. But yeah, you guys would be able to tell the difference. Anyways, you guys ready? I'm ready. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump, kick, backflips. Let's go.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
What is going on? All right. I don't know what just happened. My screen just went blank. Hopefully we can see it now. Let's go.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right, Marty, the state has waived opening statement, and your attorney wishes to give an opening statement. So are you ready to proceed, Marty? All right. Okay. Good.
Your Honor, thank you very much. Let me unload my file.
Sure. That's fine.
Thank you, Judge.
Yep.
Your Honor, this is a case about 2 boxes of work boots. You will see from a 2-minute video that each side here has viewed already that one box is basically yellow, contains a pair of boots, presumably. One box is basically black. It also contains a pair of boots. Marty Green went shopping at Rural King on June 9th of 2025, and he selected one of those 2 boxes of work boots, and he proceeded to check out with the cashier at Rural King. He presented the box that he'd selected to the cashier. The cashier opened the box, lifted a boot out, looked at the contents, scanned the box, and told Marty Green how much he owed for those boots. Marty Green paid the price for those boots, and he carried the box out and he left and he went home. The boxes themselves, Judge, you'll find have no price tag on them whatsoever. The price is determined by a barcode that is scanned either by an employee or by the cashier. The price, if one shopping for boots, if it's to be determined by or known by the purchaser, there is a tag that is affixed to each shelf that has boots on it. And there's one every so often or every so many feet. But the reality of it is you just don't know based on that what the price of the boots is going to be until you get to the cash register. Marty Green believed that he was paying for the boots in the black box that he walked out with. And so once we get to this point, what it is that the state is claiming is that Mr. Green intentionally switched boots from one box to another. In the video, you will see Marty carrying a yellow box, comes around the corner of an aisle, selects another box from a shelf. He walks to the end of the aisle, and this is about a 2-minute video. He walks to the end of that particular aisle where the black box was selected. And that's because there was, you see in the video, there's a stool of some sort down at the end. He thought he was going to sit there and try the boots on. He ended up just being near the stool and he didn't use it. Between the security camera and where Marty was trying on the boot was a pole, not a very big pole, about a pole maybe 4 to 6 inches, in width, but it was round. It obscures an amazing amount of what that camera otherwise would have shown. And the security cameras at Rural King, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there are several of them. They hang from the ceiling on a pole, and they probably drop from a very high ceiling. They come down to about 10 or 12 feet above the floor. And there's about one every single aisle. I don't know if there are other camera angles that might be available or not, but the one we have is somewhat challenging to interpret. Okay. What Marty told Officer Bennett, when Officer Bennett went to Marty's house on June the 12th, Officer Bennett basically accused Marty of switching the boots and therefore getting a more expensive pair of boots than he should have. And Marty denied it at that time, and Marty still denies that he did that on purpose. If the boots were switched, and it appears that they were, then Marty did not do that on purpose. At the time that Officer Bennett arrived and questioned Marty, Marty told Officer Bennett that, look, I was at Rural King. Monday was June the 9th, so this would have been 3 days later. Marty told the officer that he'd been to Rural King. He's on home detention. It was approved that he go to Rural King on that particular day, and he bought some boots. And he said, if the boots got switched, it was an accident. That was his statement then. That's his statement today, Judge. Officer Bennett had the opportunity, not saying that he should have, but Officer Bennett had the opportunity at Marty's invitation to go to Sheller Ryobi and take a peek at the boots that they were talking about. Marty said, well, I work at Sheller Ryobi. That's where the boots are. Let's go take a look at it. Officer Bennett elected not to do that. And I'm not saying that he should have done that, but it might have helped if he had gone to look at them. In fact, at that point, if they had unfolded, Officer Bennett was kind enough to try to arrange for Marty to pay the difference between the two pair of boots if if it was determined that he owed some money. Rural King wasn't interested in that, so it didn't go that particular route. But one thing, Judge, that you'll see in the exhibits and in the evidence is Marty was not thinking clearly that day. In fact, Marty hadn't been thinking clearly by any definition for quite some time. You'll see in an exhibit from a nurse practitioner, the name is Joshua Green, I believe, no relation, says that Marty was severely anxiety-ridden, severely manic, and the nurse practitioner said he was shocked Marty could even get through the day, even had enough capacity to get through the day and manage his daily activities. So we have to ask the court to consider the fact that he was not himself. He was not clear thinking that day. So what I'm getting at, Judge, is that the switching of the boots would have been an accident. The switching of the boots was something he was not aware of when it happened. And Megan has graciously been subpoenaed to be here today to tell the court what she knows. Megan is his case manager on home detention, has been for many, many months. And she too noticed that in June of 2025, Marty was a mess. One of the reasons he was a mess was he was working 60, 70 hours a week at Sheller Ryobi. He had 5 days off between January the 26th of 25 and June the 9th of 25. 5 days. The rest of the time, 12-hour days at work. So we're not asking you to be, have sympathy for him because he's had a rough life or was having a rough life. He was just a mess. And that's one of the factors we think came into play and caused him to be having a mess. Other thing that's sort of interesting, Judge, is that one of the exhibits points out Ryobi gives Marty $180 twice a year to buy boots. He didn't have to pay for the darn boots anyway. He just submitted his receipt to Sheller Ryobi. They give him the payment for the boots. So he didn't have a real clear incentive, unless you wanted to say his incentive maybe was to save his employer money. But that's not much of an incentive. He got boots and his employer paid for it. And his work at Ryobi is in the pit underneath machines. And it's got 4 to 6 inches of oil, gas, lubricant, you name it. He's wading around in a bunch of slop underneath the machine. His job is to do the maintenance on those machines. And so the boots take a beating. They take a beating quickly. His feet are soaked at the end of a shift, and the boots end up in a dryer room, so that they would be fit to use the next day at work. But it's not a boot that, he wasn't striving to get a boot that was better than another boot. He wasn't trying to get the best boot for the cheapest price, just one darn boot, trying to find one that fit, and that was it. And only other thing, Judge, I can think of that will be coming forward is with the boxes on the shelf and the boxes not being marked. Marty picks out boxes. He doesn't know how much the darn things cost as he sits there looking at them, and he don't. That's a revelation to him when he gets to the cash register. Now, it could have been, I'm not saying it's impossible, because if the box that somebody selects happens to be the one that's near one of the price tags on the shelf, if that's an accurate association, then he would know. But Marty will tell you he didn't pay attention to the price. He just picked out an 11 wide and an 11 regular and tried on one. And that's essentially it, Your Honor. That's what the evidence is going to show to the best of my knowledge. And I think after the court appears that there's clearly a reasonable doubt as to whether he knowingly or intentionally exerted unauthorized control over the property of another with the intent to deprive that person or that entity of any part of the value there. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Adam, I'll call your first witness.
All right. So I missed. I think I missed the very opening. I'm guessing the prosecutor waived their right to an opening statement because all I heard was a defense. Sorry, I was putting the groceries away that I just received, so I was listening, but I wasn't in front of the computer. But yeah, I didn't hear him talk, so he waived. The defense attorney is doing this. If this happened, it was an accident, but it's not his fault. Okay. He's seen the discovery, which we're about to see too. We've got security cam and and the interview. Oh, this is so much fun. Let's go.
State called Jim Lovin, James Lovin.
Yeah.
While the prosecutor is bringing in his witness, can you guys hear me? Okay. My volume is really weird, so I keep my volume at 100%, but when I do that, it makes me really loud. So then when I turn it down, I can't really hear, but then I have people complain that I sound like I'm in a tunnel. So I don't know is this a good volume level? All right, Uncle Dan can't hear me. I am turning it all the way up because he's old and his hearing aids are out of batteries. The Dandolf didn't become the Dandolf, because he's 20 years old. He's been around a little bit. All right. Yeah, okay. All right, we're gonna keep it as it is for now. But yeah, okay. Thank you.
Raise your right hand. You affirm the pain penalties of perjury testimony you're about.
So was I, buddy. So was I. You're awesome, Dan. You're awesome. The Dandolf, the one and only.
To give us the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. Have a seat.
Sir, can you state your name for the record, please?
James Paul Evans.
Okay. You go by Jim.
I go by Jim.
Can you spell your last name, please?
Last name is Lobins.
Okay. Where are you employed, Jim?
Will King.
How long have you been there?
Right at 13 years.
And what are you a manager there?
I'm one of the assistants.
Okay. What are your normal duties, employee?
My duties are managing the whole store when the store manager is not in there. Other than that, I have a zone within the store, which is the back half of the store, which is firearms counter, hardware, auto, and tools.
In your role as assistant manager, do you deal with thefts and loss prevention?
All the managers do, yes.
Okay. So how often do you deal with theft in your store? Would you say?
Theft occurs every day, but do we detect it all immediately and at all times? We do not, but we're always finding things. But I'm the primary one that looks at and reviews video.
And just to be clear, you are assistant manager here in Shelbyville, is that correct?
Right.
Okay. And then I want to direct your attention to June 9th of 2025. Was it brought to your attention that there was a box swapping of boots that day?
Yeah, my associate Sandy was working in an area and she noticed the box out of place, different color, and she notified me when she had opened the box and noticed that the wrong pair of boots were in there.
When you say work in an area, was it the section where there were shoes or boots?
Yeah, she's one of our clothing and footwear associates.
Did she bring it to your attention as soon as she realized that the boots were out of place? Or the
Yes,
box?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And so what did you do then after? How did you? Were you called over to the area, or how did you?
First thing I did was go back and look at video to see if how the box appeared, then see if that person was still in the building.
Okay. And so were you able to find the box there?
Yes.
Okay. And then so upon finding the box, did you review the video?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so were you able to determine anything from the video?
Yes, I was able to
Oh, Brandy, you almost nailed every inside joke in one sentence. That's a feat, which is why I paused it to congratulate you. Nicely done.
Identify the subject that placed the box in that location.
Okay. And how were you able to identify him?
But again, I saw him walk into the aisle with the box. It was a bright yellow box. Went down the aisle, and I see him placed on the shelf just prior to her finding it.
And the bright yellow box, so what brand shoes?
It is Carhartt.
Okay. And so were the Carhartt work boots?
Yes, sir.
And when you reviewed the video, did you see any other boxes in his hands?
Yes, there was another pair. It was almost like a red and black two-tone box, which is Irish setter.
It was darker color than the yellow
Yes, sir.
Carhartt box? Okay, and then so what did you observe with the boxes in hand?
When he entered the aisle, he walked up and grabbed a box of Irish setter boots off the shelf, proceeded down to the end of the aisle, placed both boxes down on the ground, and then to me it looks like he just simply swapped the boots from my box to the others.
And before we go forward, so the video that you had, did you provide that to my office through Discovery?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'll show this as State's Exhibit number 1, and that's a surveillance video. Did anybody else besides you have access to that video to review it?
And all managers have access to video.
To your knowledge, has it been edited or changed in any way?
It has not.
This time statement to exhibit or admit State's Exhibit number 1 and publish it. I don't know what the I've got that marked on there with that. I don't,
I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'll just wrap it around there. That's fine. So, yeah. All right. Parties having previously agreed that it's admissible, court will go ahead and view it. Right, Mr. Good?
correct. Yes.
Okay. Top one. This is Sean Bennett. So, right. Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah.
Switch it.
All right. So here I'll need to peel this off. Okay. Very good.
There should be in there.
I'm gonna take 1 minute to give a shout out to the court who actually uses the technology so we can see things. This is awesome. We get to see this. I've been watching this court almost every day since then, just because of that, because they're on point with their technology. Now they don't load it very fast, but I don't really care about that. In the future, I'll edit this part out where they're loading it. Real quick, Wixom, paying Uncle Dan's late fee. Wixom, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Let's go.
Four different files. I just want to see I just want to show the first one and the third one, so we can start with the first one.
Okay, so first one says video _1794 9512357. I'll open that up, and do I need to open the VS player?
It's at the bottom of Windows Media. I should open right up on that.
So that ends in 917. I'll open that MP4 file up.
Sometimes this video has a delay, and if it does, my suggestion is just pause it, give it a couple seconds to catch up, and press play again if it does.
Is there audio for this or just okay?
Okay, so Jim, so as you had described, so does he have the yellow box that Carhartt boots in his hand then?
Yes, sir.
And then what's he doing now?
That is the Irish setter boots.
That's the darker two-tone box.
Yes.
Correct. So is he opening the Carhartt box?
Correct. And now he's opening the other.
frame Carhartt boot on its
I
frame?
believe so, because Carhartt has a black sole where the other one has a white sole.
Was he removing the other boot from the Carhartt box?
Yes. Now he's, looks like the Irish setter Windsor Point and the white sole is just in the yellow box.
Oh, we know who she is. She is someone that's a part of this. We're gonna meet her here shortly. Don't worry. She's part. But yeah, the red pole, that's the defense's main strategy. You can't see what he's doing because of this giant red pole. Now it does suck. And he may have chosen this seat specifically. I don't know. But yeah, he grabbed 2 boxes off the shelf. What ends up happening, we'll see.
Okay, so we got Irish setter boots, how they call it? Yellow sole, you said?
Whitish yellow
White,
sole, yes.
okay. But lighter than the Carhartt.
Yes.
Now, did you place the Carhartt box on the shelf? Did you place the Carhartt box on the shelf?
Yes, sir.
And is that the place where the Carhartt boots are?
The Carhartt boots are on the aisle adjacent where my associate is walking into.
Okay, and who's that associate?
That is Sandy McVay.
Oh, was there somebody there? So with Mr. Green that day?
Yes, the woman in the blue shirt, in what I witnessed, to me, it looked like she was a lookout because she.
Your Honor, I'm going to object and ask that be stricken from the record. I mean, he can describe that there was someone else there, but I don't think you should offer an opinion as to him. It looks like, okay.
Response.
He's being, it's his video and he's observed it. He's giving his opinion on what he's observed. It's relevant.
Well, I need a little bit more of a foundation to see what he observed of her, because I saw, from what if he's based upon the video, I think that's a conjecture based upon what I just saw in the video. If he observed her prior in other things than this video, I'd maybe allow it with the proper foundation, but I'll sustain it as of what I've just seen. So,
Jim, when you saw Mr. Green in the video that we just showed, was there anybody else at the start of that? Was there anybody else in the frame or off to the side there?
No, the only thing I observed was first and then at the end. And like I say, when my associate came up.
I saw that, Felix. That was awesome. She responded to you, and then you gave me a shout out to her. I appreciate that. You immediately went like, "Ah, she responded. Hey, this is my friend Colin." That was awesome. I really appreciate that. I geeked so hard when you did that. It made me feel warm, and that was your moment. I appreciate you sharing that moment with me.
He paused his exit of the aisle until she cleared the aisle and then he exited. So that's how I interpret it as a lookout.
And then can we go ahead and go to the third video?
mm-hmm. Go back. Third one. This ends in 2571. Register 3, the bottom one, 609. Okay.
Jim, is this one of the cash registers where cashiers checking people out?
Yeah, that's I'm approaching with the young lady.
Their editor is as good as me. They don't need. Why'd they have that guy? We don't need that guy. We want the. Yeah, there we go. There's our dude right there. That's a good question. I actually meant to look that up. It's the store is called Rural King. Rural King. I'm gonna guess it's like a tractor and supply store based on what we just saw that guy buying and our defendants buying boots. So I'm gonna guess it's close to that. That I don't know though. And there's a lady with the popcorn. Yep, she's there. She's with them. Like I said, she's gonna come back up later when the interview of the body cam comes up. Oh, it's such a good interview.
Jim, does Mr. Green, does he complete the transaction and make a payment for the boots in that box?
Yes, he does. He pays cash. What the young lady's doing there is capturing his email address to finish his sign up for our rewards program.
Like, what does that rewards program entail?
For purchases, you get 1% back for every dollar spent.
What information does the customer have to give to you to sign up for that?
First, he provided the phone number, and then it has all of his personal information. But to finalize it, we require an email address because that's how it's communicated back and forth to the customers.
The cashier had opened the box. So can you explain when the cashier is opening the box, what are they doing in the context of selling a pair of shoes or boots?
In the context of that, she is looking at the description when she scans it. She's looking for shoe size. Then she matches it to she opens the box to make sure that there's nothing in the shoes or in the box other than the boots and the size. And also that there's a left and a right shoe.
I'll mark this state's exhibit number 2. So at that transaction, then Jim, so was he given a receipt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'll show you what's in marked state's exhibit number 2. So, is that the receipt from that transaction?
That is a copy of this receipt. Yes.
So, how much then did Mr. Green pay for the boots?
Jedi, Vic was looking for you earlier. Yeah, you may have hurt Vic's feelings for ignoring. Just so you know, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. You just sent me a text telling me you were busy. So, anyways, Phil, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Welcome to the 5 new members. Phil, thank you so much for that. Also, Harry, thank you for the super chat. Oops, forgot to pay my late fee. I appreciate the late fee, Harry. I do. Yeah, late fees are not required. I love that you guys do it as a joke, but I don't want any of the new people coming in here to think that that's required. It's not, but I do appreciate it. It's awesome.
We paid $108.31 after tax.
Okay. So now that receipt though has a transaction, so it's got a pair of boots and it has this appear to have something else like root beer on there.
Yeah, soda pop.
Okay. So excluding taxes and then the root beer, then how much were the boots that Mr. Green paid for?
The clearance price of the boots at the time was $99.93 for the boots.
Okay. And that would be, so the box that rang up in what type? Was that the Irish setter?
That is the Irish setter Kitson Model 6 size 11.
Okay. And then I have page 2 here on here. There's and just to be clear, so that first page, Jim, so that was dated June 9th of 2025. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then there's information on there. It says customer name. What's that customer name say?
It says Marty Barnes.
And then there's numbers in parentheses 1831848. What is that number?
That is the customer code for that reward.
Aaron, that was a one-time thing, and it was an accident. Stop telling people that.
Account.
Okay, so that's the ID number associated with that rewards account. And then it says points until next reward, 398.78. What does that mean?
Because once you accumulate 500 points, it actually reverts to $1 that they can use towards, or the $5 coupon that they can use towards their next purchase.
Again, that's dated on June 9th of 2025 when that transaction was made.
Correct.
And then on page 2, it says it's a receipt dated June 12th. 2025 suspended, and it's got a, what is that?
This is for the actual, this is for the Carhartt boots that, the box that was found along, which I provided to the officer once I provided it
Okay. There's this receipt that's showing what the value of the actual Carhartt boots was.
at that time, yes.
Okay, and at that time, it's $179.99.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of which, I did miss one. Well, I missed two. I missed more than that. I didn't thank Bill for the 9 months. Thank you so much, Bill, for your 9 months. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Cheshire Cat came in with a super chat. In the words of Right Said Fred, I'm too sexy. Yep, yep, yep. And Dr. JD for the 25 months. 25 months. That is awesome. Thank you so much. And my phone's going off. Sorry about that, guys. I need to turn it on silent. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the super chats and the milestones.
That's what this time statement moved to Advanced States Exhibit number 2.
Thank you.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then I'll show you what's been marked States Exhibits 3 and 4. So, what does that show, Jim? What do you see there?
These are the two boots. One is the Carhartt and one is the Irish Setter.
Okay. And is that from the Rule Team website?
Correct. Yes, sir.
If these are current pictures, don't this is the, so this was just provided from the Rule Team website just recently, but I just want to explain on the Irish Setter. It shows it currently has a value of $79.91. That's different from the value or how much they were worth back in June of 25. Is that right?
Right.
Like how do you explain that difference?
The boot is a clearance model. In our pricing structure, once the value in the cents ends in a 3 or a 1, they are clearance. 3 is the first markdown, 1 is the next markdown.
So it's currently $79.91, but back on June 9th of 2025, it was $99.93.
Correct.
And then on the Carhartt Storm Defender boots, on the picture and the Rule Team site direct provided, it has a current value. It says $134.93. It says was $179.99. So is that a sale? Or
it is a sale. If you see the green underneath, it just shows that it is on a promotion for a 25% discount.
Okay. But again, going back to on exhibit number 2, page 2, though, on that receipt that you had provided from June 12th, the Carhartts at that time were $179.99. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
At this time, statement moved to Advanced States Exhibits 3 and 4, please.
Show admitted. Thank you.
And then Jim, so on
$200 for a good pair of boots. That's the high end of like a mid-level. $200 will, so for what this guy does, so he works on engines and he works on diesel engines at some kind of factory, like not a factory. They maybe they haven't explained it yet, but they will. I think they already did. I think in the opening statement. But he's walking through like slop all day long. So his boots are going to last about 6 months. It doesn't really matter. He's going to need like waterproof stuff and things that go up to like his mid shins, and he's just buying normal, I don't know, normal hiking boots, which probably shouldn't do, or normal work boots. I don't know how to explain it. I don't. But $200 is a good price for someone that's working on like a road construction crew. $200 will last you probably a year and a half in good condition, and then they'll start to deteriorate. So, but when you're on your feet all day in the harsh conditions, $200 for boots, yeah, you're gonna be spending that probably every 6 months to keep them in good condition. Wixom, thank you so much. Payne Mayor's late. Wait, hold on, Mayor's here? Hold on. Hey, Mayor's here. I was just thinking about you. Hold on. I'm going back to where he said hi for the first time. Hold on. He's saying hi to everybody. Mayor, stop saying hi to everyone. I want to get your original hi message. I can't find it. Oh, that's why. That's why I couldn't find it. It was a milestone. I wasn't looking for milestones. Mayor, you are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. I honestly was just thinking about you earlier yesterday, and then it came in today. I actually wanted to message you to check up on you. Haven't seen you in a little bit, so glad you're here, man. So glad you're here, and thank you for the 22 months. You're awesome.
The customer rewards program, so how does that work? Does a customer just sign up like as they're checking out, or do they have to go through a special process?
Once they are logged into the system, when they get or assign a customer code, they provide a telephone number, and that's how we bring up their rewards at that time. Or you can bring it up by name also. The phone number is the easiest.
And I'll show you what I marked States Exhibit number 5. So is this a screenshot of one of your computers at Real King?
Yes, sir.
And what does that show? What does that screenshot show from your computer screen?
That is actually the customer information with their contact information.
And so on the upper, and this is in 5 pages, but I just want on the top on page 1 then. So does it have a customer name at the top and in the middle?
Yes, the customer name is on here is Marty Barnes.
In the middle at the top, is there a customer ID number?
Yes, the 1831848.
Okay. And that's associated with the rewards account.
Yes, sir.
And it says customer sent on the far right, it says customer since September 6th of 2022. What does that mean? Is that when we would have signed up?
That's when his information was initially captured. Yes.
And then at toward the middle of the screen where it says contact information, it says phone number and then email. Would that information have been provided by the customer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the name Marty Barnes and the email that says greenmarty845@gmail.com, that would have been provided by the customer.
Right, and that's what my associate had captured because that was lacking from this screen at that.
Okay, so on June 9th of 25, then so the cashier that conducted the transaction checked the boots and gave Mr. Green the receipt. She captured that email address.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And as we go basically on pages 2 through 5, those are just zooming in on parts of that overall screen. Is that right? So on page 2, like the phone number and email.
Yes, sir.
Page 3, the customer ID number.
Yes, sir.
Page 4, the name Marty Barnes, and then page 5, the name Marty Barnes, customer ID number. That's what's zoomed in versions of that screenshot. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at this time, state would move to admit States Exhibit number 5, please.
Excuse me, show it admitted. Thank you.
Yeah, they are. They are. I became obsessed with Brooks probably about 7 or 8 years ago, and I can't go back now. I can't go back. So yeah, I wear my Brooks to death before I buy a new one, and that's not good. Just like boots and good work, like feet are important. People don't understand this, or they cheap out on it just because they think it's going to be okay. But a good pair of running shoes, a good pair of work boots, that you can't replace that. And I don't know why we're talking about this. We're talking about this guy. We're watching a video of this guy, swapping out boots. Got a $200 boots, $200 pair of boots for $100, and he's still claiming it's an accident. And we just saw it on video.
And so, Jim, the box recovered, then it was that yellow box.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the Carhartt boots, right? Or the Carhartt boots box.
Correct.
Okay, and did you take that box in right away and then check to see the boots that were in it?
Yes, it was then taken back to our HR office where I conduct the video surveillance.
And I'll show you, I marked these States Exhibits 6, 7, and 8. On Exhibits 6 and 7, Those pictures of that Carhartt box that was recovered.
Yes, sir.
Ranger, I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with this court to be able to tell you that. I will tell you that the defendant brags about making $2,500 a week at some point in this trial. So that's part of his defense. So if he's gonna yell from the rooftops that he's making $2,500 a week, I'm gonna guess that he paid for this attorney.
And that specific boot then, was it 11 wide, or that's the boots that were supposed to be in that box?
Correct.
Okay. And then the boots then you pulled out of that Carhartt box, then what were they?
Those are the kits and Irish setters.
Okay. And what size were they in? Do you remember?
I think they were 11.
Is medium like regular size?
Yes.
So the distinct differences, so they're both brown, but the Carhartts, or can you just describe the general differences in the boots?
The major difference is the sole of the shoe. One is a black, and the other one is a whitish yellow.
So the picture in State's Exhibit number 8, those Irish setters, what color sole do they have on them?
That is a white, or
Okay.
white color.
And then the Carhartt boots that were missing from the box, then do they have the darker sole?
Yes, sir.
This time state would move to admit State's Exhibits 6, 7, and 8, please.
Okay, go to admit. Thank you.
Now, Sandy, your employee that was in that section, so had she been in that section that day working with you now?
She was not working. I was not working with her in that section. Her immediate supervisor would be another assistant who was off that day. So, but she was straightening up and resetting a new planogram. The planogram is the layout of how the shoes are displayed on the shelving units.
Great. And is there a price tag on these boxes for these boots?
A price tag on it. Don't believe there's an actual price tag on each box.
Okay. Is there a price tag anywhere on the shelves?
On the shelf right in front of them, yes.
Okay. And as assistant manager, so how often do employees keep that area straightened out with the boxes and their price tags and associated spots where they should be?
We try to do it every evening.
So on a daily basis, is there an employee going through their straightening things out?
I have two associates that are assigned to the boots, Sandy and Diane. Diane was off on that particular day. And then our closing associates, we always try to pick an area, and we usually do boots and jeans as they get messed up for hands.
So how often do you ever have boots placed in the wrong box? Has that ever happened?
Has it ever happened? It has, but that's why we try to get our associates when they are ringing up. That's why we look at the shoe size, because that's the easiest way of telling if the box is or shoe is in the wrong box.
Okay, and when an employee or cashier opens the box and inspects the shoes, then what is, so can you just describe the primary purpose of that?
The primary purpose is to make sure that the correct size is in there. I mean, not often are typically when we have had a box switch, the boot sizes aren't the same. Like they'll put a size 6 and a size 9. And we're trying to get people through the lines as fast as possible. So the easiest way of identifying for us is the boot size and make sure they have the left and the right shoe.
Ross?
Thank you, sir. Okay, if I call you Jim?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that. Jim, taking a look again at the receipt that's dated June the 9th of 25. it says there on that the points until next reward, 398.78. Those are reward points that are given to a customer based on purchases that they make over a period of time.
Right. So it starts at $500 or 500 points, and what the value of the receipt comes off that for the next one. So if you deduct 500, or take 500, deduct the price of that receipt, which is like 102, that's your 398.
Okay. So the 398 is something that was earned just that particular day.
Now,
No, I think he's saying the opposite. I
it's
think
the opposite.
it's $1 per point, right? You
Correct.
start with 5. So he's got 398 points until he gets his next,
Right.
until this $5 reward.
Okay. So how old is this account as you look at it? How long had this account been in existence?
Well, the account was set up on, I think on
Oh, it's gonna piss you guys off even more once you find out a detail that we're gonna learn here shortly. That he doesn't even pay for his boots, his company does. His company refunds him for his boots because of how fast they go through it in his position. We're about to hear that. I know I just spoiled it, but you guys are already on top of everything that is going on with this trial.
the top corners, it said in 2022, but he was accumulating 0 points till he provided that email address, which was that day.
Okay. And the email address he provided according to this exhibit was greenmarty845@gmail.com, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that was the correct information.
Correct. Okay.
With respect to the security cameras, Jim, how many cameras do you have in the shoe area, if you know?
There's one in every aisle.
One in every aisle. All right. And are they set up so that there's just one that is devoted to any given aisle, or do they see various locations?
They are permanent. Look, the permanent angle.
Okay, so do they all exclusively show activity in one particular aisle, or do some of the views overlap into one or more aisles?
Each one is at the end of each aisle, and you can see the openings of multiple aisles, but they only go down one aisle.
Okay. So the area where the video showed Mr. Green trying on boots, was there just one camera view of that particular location?
In that aisle, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, see, no, I don't spoil movies or shows, but if Heather was here, she would say this. What Colin does is say, pay attention to this part, it's really important. That's what I do. And I've tried to get better at it. I really have. I'm sorry. That's not going to make or break the case, though. Yes, I'm spoiling a detail that we're going to find out here shortly, but that's not going to make or break what happens. It just makes you look at it differently now. So, yeah, no, I guess it did. Shit, I'm sorry.
Rural King appears to have a rather substantial selection of boots. Do you happen to know how many aisles are devoted to boots?
6 aisles.
6 aisles, each having 2 sides?
Yes, sir.
So 12 rows of boots.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. How many shelves from floor to ceiling? Roughly.
6 or 7. I don't know.
All right. And are there several brands of work boots that are offered?
Yes.
How many brands would you estimate?
Probably 6.
Now, the boots in question here, generally referred to, as Mr. James mentioned, they're generally referred to as work boots.
Yes, sir.
And the work boots in question here, color-wise, were both essentially darker brown. Is that correct?
They're both brown. Yes.
Both brown. Most work boots are brown. Is that right?
I would say yes. Okay. It's brown and black here.
All right. And most of them have a hard toe or steel toe.
Probably 50%.
50%. Okay. Some of them are higher than others, I suppose, in terms of distance above the ankle. And were the two boots in question, the two different brands of boots in question here, about the same height, about the same color?
Same height. One was all brown, one was brown and black.
Okay. There's a picture of the Carhartt boots on the Carhartt box, correct?
Correct.
Is that picture an accurate reflection of the boot that you would expect?
Yeah, no, he didn't. Voldemort killed Dumbledore. That was a master plan that Voldemort created to make sure that Dumbledore died, and he ensured that it was going to happen. That's what happened. So, did Snape pull the trigger? Sure, but it wasn't Snape that killed him.
Defined in the box?
Should be close, yes.
What do you mean should be close?
I mean, they're using stock photos to print the close representation.
Oh, so it's not necessarily what's going to appear in the box. Okay.
The descriptions are pretty close, yes.
Okay. Isn't it correct that the Carhartt boot had a light?
No, this is not a civil trial. Okay, so I did a terrible job of laying the foundation for this video. No, this is not a civil trial. This guy's on house arrest. He's absolutely on house arrest, and he got charged with theft when he was given a small little window where he could go shopping for himself while he's on house arrest. So this is a huge deal. He's looking at prison for this action for boots that he doesn't even have to pay for. So that's what this video is about. All right, so I really apologize, guys. No, this is definitely not a civil trial. We have a prosecutor here. We have an officer here. No, not civil at all. At all. Uncle Dan, thank you for the super chat. Well, thanks for spoiling the Harry Potter movies for me, Colin. No, I didn't spoil the movies for you. I spoiled the books for you. The movies, yeah, you don't get to see all the inner workings of what happened, but yeah, I definitely spoiled the books for you. But I do apologize. Thank you for the super chat, though.
Colored sole on the side.
The Carhartt, that was the Kitson boot, the Irish setter.
You want State's Exhibit 3, Mr. Good?
Probably so, Judge.
There you go.
Got the yellow box.
Well, here's the yellow box. That's State's Exhibit 6. That's the
Yeah.
box.
Thank you.
And yeah,
This is 6. Thank you, sir.
and that's 3 if you want that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So Jim, here, it looks like State's Exhibit 3 and 6 looks like it's about the same picture to me. Would you agree?
Pretty close, yes.
Okay, isn't there a light colored stripe or sole on the side of this boot? Do you see a lighter
I do see a lighter.
area of color at the bottom of the boot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that what would have been in the box originally in all likelihood?
Should have been, yes.
And in the video, there is one of the few things that appears to be visible is removal of one of the Carhartt boots. Would you agree?
I do see a Carhartt boot being removed, yes.
Okay, and was there a white stripe on the side of the boot being removed?
Not that I could see as visible on the video.
Not that I could see. Okay. You were able to identify the boots in question here, both the Irish Setter and the Carhartt boots. You identified on the basis of the receipt June 9th or June 12th from the from the barcode, correct?
Yes, sir.
And from the barcode on the box that Sandy located on the shelf, the yellow box was out of place. Checking the barcode on that was the information that was gleaned from the receipt dated June 12th.
Yes, sir.
The actual boots that were in the box that Mr. Green paid for, we don't have possession of. Is that correct?
Box, no. Is that,
We don't have possession of the box or the boots, do we?
no, sir.
So we don't know what boots were in the box that Mr. Green paid. Do you agree? We don't know exactly what pair of boots was in, correct?
I could not see from the video of the cashier. She did not pull it far enough out for us to see what did the cashier register.
So we really don't know what boots they were, other than based upon the code, barcode from the box on the shelf. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Is the cashier who checked out Mr. Green that day here testified?
No, she's a college student. She's off in school.
You mentioned when answering questions for Mr. James that the cashiers are trained to do their job and not in particular, but in part trained on how they should check out customers who are purchasing boots or shoes, correct?
We train them to look at the boot size to make sure they are, they match the description as scanned. I mean, they physically look at the tongue to see the boot. And then they look to make sure that there's a right and left. Are they shown how to look at every aspect of the shoe? No, they've got we're running 1,000 people through the line that,
Sure.
so
Are they also trained to make sure or look to see that the boot in the box is supposed to be in the box, matches that box?
again, we're taking faith that the customer has chosen the correct boot.
So they're not asked to look and make sure if a customer is buying what appears to be Irish setter boots, the cashier doesn't care whether they're really Irish setter boots or not, as long as they're the right size.
Do they care? I mean, they
Okay,
do care,
well, I'm sorry,
but-
do
but-
they-
But at some
They're
point,
not looking for whether they are in fact that brand boot or not.
do they look at all aspects? No, they don't. I mean, again, we're hiring kids from college to run a register.
Sure.
Again, just like at McDonald's, we don't ask them to inspect every burger to make sure that they got onions on it.
Sure,
So I
sure.
mean, there are things that are going to slip out.
Absolutely, yeah, I understand that. But would you, as part of the training, say, look to see if it, it says Irish setter, it says Carhartt, look and see if that's what's in the box.
Again,
That wouldn't be even part of what you suggested.
we try to instill all aspects, but again,
Yeah, I get what he's doing. He's trying to push the blame on the cashier. I mean, it makes sense. He knows his client's guilty. He's trying to point the finger at anyone he can but his client. And look at all these failures that happened that led this accident, because the attorney is still playing the accident card. I mean, it makes sense for the defense attorney to do this. He's doing a good job at defending his clients. But yeah, no, it's not the cashier's fault that this happened. Absolutely not.
And in fact, I mean, the size you pointed out to Mr. James the size of one of these boots was 11W and the size of the other one was 11D, correct?
Correct.
So the sizes didn't match either.
Again, you're looking at a letter. I mean, most boots will say a D and some will say an M. So it's M and a D are the same thing.
M and a D are the same thing.
Yes.
And they're both considered also regular, is that right?
And for a wide boot, it's either a W or an EE.
Okay. So
Why don't you fix that? That's kind of dysfunctional. Tell the industry they got to make it the same.
Well, that's why we
Yeah.
ask them to look at the size. We don't necessarily look
I
at
understand.
the width of the
Yeah.
shoe because, again, sometimes they don't match.
Yeah, no, I got that. I didn't realize that.
So
Judge tried to make a little joke there. he's like, I already know what's going on here. I'm just playing. I just want everyone to know I'm still here. So he made a comment. It was nice. I appreciated your joke, Judge.
11W, I suppose, is a wider boot than a D. Okay. But presumably, the cashier who checked those boots out concluded that the boots were the same ones that the box should be in that box.
She concluded that they were the size 11 and there was nothing in the boot themselves. I'm not going to guess what she concluded.
Okay, well, that's good. The boots for sale at Rural King don't have a price tag physically attached to the boot, correct?
Some, not to the boots themselves, no, but
Okay.
and some boxes do, some do not. It depends on how the manufacturer sends it to us.
And the prices are, I think, as you mentioned, set forth on the shelves themselves.
Correct, sir.
And the prices on the shelves they're on tags that are just big enough to say how much it costs.
They're
$100,
like a 1 inch
$150.
by 2 inch tag.
Okay, 2 inches wide. And they appear every few feet along the shelf, right?
For boots, they're under each box on the shelf.
You're saying that there's a price tag under each and every box?
Well, on the shelf itself. So if there's a row of boxes here, there's a sign. There's a row of boxes next to it, there's a sign. I mean, on every boot, there is a tag.
So if the boxes aren't mixed up, a customer could look and see what price that boot is.
Right.
Otherwise, you would have to scan it to know the price.
Correct.
Okay. It's already been asked by Mr. James a bit, but is it common to find the boxes in disarray after a day of the store being open?
People do misplace things, yes.
Common to find.
All right, Jarmager. All right. I don't know if I can do the whiny voice I don't know if I can do it, but I'll do it. What's in the box? What's in the box? I mean, that was a great movie. One of the best movies I've ever seen. Unfortunately, it's not a movie you can watch more than once, but it was a great movie. But I can't do the whiny voice on purpose. You got to get me in an emotional state. What's in the box? What's in the box? Yeah, no. But you challenged me. I did it.
Boots and boxes where they don't belong.
Common, no.
You ever
Can it be done? Yes.
have you common that you find someone left their flip flops in a box where boots were supposed to be?
That has happened, but we don't inspect people's feet when they walk in and out of the building. But it's not common.
Dan, I didn't even tell you what movie it was. So if you don't know what movie that is, you still don't know what's in the box. You don't know what's in the box. Man, Dan is on top of me tonight. In a fun way. It doesn't matter. It's standoff. I'll take it. Yeah. Why does the video look paused?
Questions I have, Your Honor?
Oh,
Thank
geez.
you.
All right, defense attorney was reading without even moving. How is that possible? I don't know how you do that. I move way too much even when I'm reading. I thought there was a glitch going on. Okay, let's go.
Okay, any redirect?
Jim, referring to the cashier's conclusion, so based on what you previously stated, is the cashier checking for the size of each, whether that there are two shoes in the box or two foods?
Correct.
And that they're both the same size,
Correct. Again, we don't do the width. We just
just
look
there's
at
a
the,
left and right.
Right.
Anything beyond the scope of that,
just make sure that there's no other product within the box.
okay, like something hidden with the shoes that we're
Right.
saying. Can I see 3 and 4 and 7?
Okay, yeah. So. 8, 3, 4. You want 7 too? Here's 7.
So, Mr. Good to talk about the soles of the shoes. So again, can you just describe the differences between the Carhartt and the Irish setter on the soles?
On the Irish setter, it's a very prominent yellowish white stripe or white sole all the way through, and on the Carhartt shoe, it has a little bit of a grayish tone to it. But I'd say again on the video, I was able to see that the boot with the
Wixom, I appreciate that so much. I am staying as far away from that hearing as I possibly can. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I don't know if I've said this publicly. I'll say it to you guys now. That is a type of case where if Coach Moore, I'm gonna say if, I'm not gonna give my opinion. If Coach Moore wins this case and everything gets dismissed, there is a high chance he's gonna start suing people. Am I going to be on his radar? Absolutely not. Is there a small chance that I put out a video on the Coach Moore thing and it goes viral? Yeah, that's possible. Every single video I upload, there's a super small chance that goes viral. I don't want to be the person that does a video on Coach Moore that goes viral and I'm all of a sudden in his target if he's found not guilty. So no, I'm not touching that case. You can't pay me enough to do it. But I do appreciate the super chat. Like I said, I don't think I've said that publicly, but now I did. I've said it privately to a few people, but there we go. That's why I'm not covering that case. Staying as far away from it as I can. I'm paying attention because it's a good case and it's interesting, but I'm not touching it.
prominent white was moved into the yellow box.
Your Honor, I think I'm gonna object to that characterization of what he saw. I think that exhibit speaks for itself.
Like I think the pictures of the boots speak for themselves. I could tell what's white and what's gray and what's black. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll let him speak his opinion, but it's his opinion, and I've seen the video myself. I can draw my own conclusions. So thank you.
But Jim, so I'll show you state's exhibit number 8. The boot recovered from the box, is that the one with the lighter tan or
That
yellow
is the
sole?
one. Correct.
Thank you.
I don't have any other questions.
Any recross?
Thank you, no.
Okay, you may step down. Thank
Can
you,
this,
sir.
Witness be released from his.
Yeah, you're released. You may go or you may stay. It's up to you. Okay. You need to go. That's fine. I understand.
We rode together.
Yep. Yep.
All right, state the call, Sandy McVay, please.
All right, while they're swapping, this is a good time to catch up. I've gone way out of order on my super chats. Hold on, I gotta make sure I get all of them. I know Uncle Dan sent a few. I want to make sure.
Raise your right hand. You affirm no
Nope.
pains, penalties, or perjury.
All right, hold on. Sorry. Dan, thank you so much. Well, thanks for spoiling the Harry Potter movies. I don't know if I read this one or not. This is just where I'm starting from because this is about where I started going out of order. Thank you so much, Dan, for the super chat. And yeah, Yeah, and yeah, no, I don't want to spoil the Harry Potter movies for anybody, so I'm gonna stop talking about Harry Potter. Dan, again, I saw the first Harry Potter movies, first of the Harry Potter movies. That was funny for me. Uh I'm jealous of you, Dan. I'm jealous. You have not experienced it for the first time yet. I'm jealous of you, man. I'm jealous. Germanger, what's in the box? Oh, that's what I did. I already did it. Choice impression. Thank you. Thank you, Germanger. And Dan again. Thanks for spoiling another movie. Again, I responded to that one. I know I did. I just read that one. And Bill, thank you so much for the Colin Defense Fund. All right, we're caught up. We're caught up on super chats. Let's keep going.
Testimony, you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, proceed.
And can you say your name for the record?
Sandy McVay,
Can you spell your last name, please?
M as in Michael, C as in Charlie, V as in Victor, E as in Edward, Y as in Yankee.
Yeah, Mike is covering the entire thing. There are a couple of channels that are. Yeah, Coach Moore. He is the former head coach of the University of Michigan football team. He got fired for an inappropriate relationship. That's about all I know about the official charges. It's an interesting case. It's a high profile case. That's about all I'm going to say. I'm not going to make an opinion on it whatsoever. I already did. But yeah, I know Mike is covering it. He's covered every single one. I want to say Lone Wolf has too. Yeah, like I said, I'm staying as far away from that as possible. Just don't need it. I don't need that drama. That's all.
And where do you work?
Rural King,
Is it the one here in Chubby, the one do you have?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you worked there?
3.5 years.
And what do your normal duties include?
I
Yeah, Dan, I get that. I get that. There's just, like I said, a fraction of a percent chance that I post a video that goes viral on him. I don't know, for maybe a random comment I make. I don't even want to put myself in that situation. I'm not doing it. I stay away from the high profile cases for that exact reason. I am not in a position where I can defend myself if even if their claims are just ridiculous. I'm not in that kind of position, so I just stay away from it. I'm going to stick to the low level courts and we're going to have fun here. But yeah, Dan, I do appreciate your comment though.
work in the apparel area, putting out freight, doing price changes, zoning, tidying up the area, that sort of thing.
I want to direct your attention to June 9th, 2025. Were you working that day?
Yes.
And do you remember where exactly you were working in the store, what you were doing that day?
I was working in the boot section. We'd gotten a new shipment of Ariat boots in, and we'd got some new styles, and I was putting those out.
Can I go ahead and play on exhibit number 1, the first video here, please?
Yep, I think I've still got it.
Sandy, I've extended an exhibit on the surveillance video I want to show you.
In a second here, so let me get to it.
Sandy, have you seen this video?
Once.
This is the third one.
It's the first. It's exhibit number. It's the
Oh, okay,
That was
gotcha.
the-
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, Sandy, how
I'm
long-
replaying the first video in 171. I'm sorry, 171.
So Sandy, is this an accurate depiction of the shoe or boot section of roping?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So you had been in this section that day.
I was working at the end of this aisle that's got the pool in it, putting out a new style of Ariat boots and put all the boxes out, and I went to print the labels,
When you say labels, what do you mean?
the shelf labels that have price on it.
Okay, so price tags.
Yes.
So are they on they're on the shelf, the price tag?
I had to go and get them and pick them up from this information desk. And when I came back, I found a yellow Carhartt box in the area I'd been working that had not been there before.
Now here in a minute, we'll see you come into the frame. So how much of your shift that day was dedicated to the boot section?
Probably a couple of hours. I know I probably had to go up to the register, some of the help out there.
So you said it was new boots that came in, you were
It
organizing?
was a new style of Ariat boots.
And did you do anything else in this section that day in addition to the area boots and getting the price tag on the shelf?
Probably just general cleanup and putting out any other boots that we've gotten in.
Did you go through the aisles and make sure like that they were tidy and the boots were
Yes.
where they were supposed to be?
Yes.
And we'll see you come up here in a minute. So when you come into the frame, then what do you do? Okay, is that you right there?
That is me. Just gotten the label and was putting them on the shelf.
So were you coming back to put the labels on?
Yes,
So did you notice the box had a place immediately?
yes, I did.
Okay, and so was it that yellow Carhartt box that you found?
Yes.
And so what was the color of the other boxes that were there that you were working on?
The area boots come in a black box with white lettering and orange striping on it.
So did the yellow box stick out like a sore thumb?
Stands out like a sore thumb, yes.
So what did you do next when you saw the Carhartt box?
I took it off of the shelf. I checked the contents in it, found that they were not Carhartt boots, and then I radioed Jim.
Okay. Did you radio them as soon upon your discovery that they weren't the boots that were
Yes.
supposed to be in there? Okay.
I think it's 8 and then no, the box with the,
This,
yep, that was,
Okay.
thank you. I'll go ahead and take that yellow one too. Thank you. Yeah,
Mhm.
thanks.
Sandy, I'll show you, I marked these states exhibits 6, 7, and 8. So states exhibit number 7. So is that the Carhartt box you found that day?
Yes,
Okay, so did you take that to Jim, your manager, or did you just radio him to come over?
I radioed him to come over.
And then on states exhibit number 6, so that just shows the side of the box there.
Yeah.
So it says 11 wide, and this, the picture of the box or the Carhartt that's supposed to be in the box. And then I'll show you states exhibit number 8. So is that the pair of boots that you found in there?
Yes,
Okay, and what type of pair are they?
those are Irish setter. I believe it's Kitson's.
Okay. And so when you called Jim over, then did he just, what did he do from there?
We double checked to make sure that there was Irish setter section that had the Carhartt shoes in it, and there was none.
So you were looking, but you couldn't find anything to,
We could not find a Carhartt box with a pair of Irish setter boots in it. Or Irish setter box with a pair of Carhartt boots in it.
When you
Just
come,
double check.
when you come back and found that box of Carhartts, then had you already organized the general boot section or made sure things were in order?
Yes.
Okay. And how often do you normally go through that boot section to make sure that everything's lined up?
We try to go through there every day.
I don't know if we know that. I don't know if that comes up. The house arrest part comes up. Maybe in the officer's body cam that we're about to see here shortly. That actually might be tomorrow because we've been going for almost an hour and a half. But the body cam interview that when the officer testifies, they go over every single detail of what happened.
It depends on how busy we are. With freight and backup register help and other duties.
You do the price tags on the shelf or the boxes directly above them?
Yes.
Okay. That's the one question I got.
Okay. Thank
Stay
you.
there. Don't leave yet.
Okay.
Mr. Good has a chance to
Okay.
give his cross-examination.
thank you, Judge.
All right, before the defense cross-examines, let's catch up. Lisa, thank you so much. This is not a spoiler. I appreciate it, Lisa. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And thank you for the super chat. Germager, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. And welcome to the 5 new members. Thank you so much, Germager. Bill, Collins. Oh, I already said thank you to Bill. Now you got a second thank you. But thank you, Bill.
Do you work as a cashier at times?
Yes,
Were you trained as a cashier?
yes.
In your training as a cashier, who is assigned to checking a customer out who's buying a pair of boots, what would you try to accomplish as a cashier?
Well, you open up the box and check to make sure it's the same size. Definitely, we're supposed to check, make sure it's the same style too. It's definitely size because those get mixed up.
Is part of your job to try to make sure that the boot in the box matches the box?
Yes.
I mean, that's the only way you're going to know whether it's the right price, correct? Because you scan the box for the
Scan the
price,
box, yes.
and then you look at the boot to match.
We make sure that the boot that's in the box matches up with what the picture and style sizes are.
Jody, that was a joke. I don't have a second channel. I did for about 3 weeks, and then YouTube shut it down. I tried to create a new channel where I didn't talk, and I just played. This is before the AI push, and I actually found a good voiceover that was AI, but it was me talking and just the AI voice, so no one knew it was me. But YouTube shut that down. So yeah, I don't have a second channel. This is it.
That appears on the box.
Yes.
Pardon me. Okay. I think Jim said something about on the day in question, you were short one person who, rearranges the boxes or, or looks at them to make sure that they're still in good shape, or did I misunderstand?
I'm not sure if she was the other gal that's in charge of that department was there or not.
So nowadays, is part of your job to inspect the boxes to make sure that, or to look at them and make sure they're in the place where they're supposed to be, and that the lids are closed, and are any boots left on the floor, or any boots left on
We
the
go
shelf?
through and we clean up, and when we find something out of place, we'll check the inside of the box, make sure it matches up, and then put it back in place.
Okay. Is it common to find boxes out of place on the shelf?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions.
No problems.
Okay, you may step down. All right.
Witness be released.
Yep, you're free to go if you wish, or if you want to.
Short answer, no. This was never a long-term plan. This was just a hobby of mine that, people enjoyed, so I kept pushing it. But no, there's no long-term future for me on YouTube. It's not sustainable. I'm working, 18 hours a day to run my channel because I do 99% of it on my own. So it's a lot of work for what I do. So no, it's not a long-term goal at all. Yeah. Anyways, Vic, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Welcome to the 5 new members. All right. If the officer is next, we might be calling it a night. I don't want to. I want to keep playing it, but we're only halfway through this video, and I can't do a 3-hour long live stream. I turn to a pumpkin after 9 o'clock. You guys know this. I start work at about 7 a.m. And yeah, so we're all right. Let's see what's happening next.
Stay, you can do the same. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
State call Lieutenant Bennett, please.
Okay, come on up.
All right, it's the officer. All right, I don't want to do this, but I think it's a good time to cut it. I know you guys want to watch this. This is probably the most exciting part of the entire hearing or the entire trial is the officer testimony, the interview. This is why I put it in a video. And we've got 130 people watching right now. Yeah, that was the plan, Jody. The plan was to do the first half tonight and do the rest of it tomorrow. And this is a perfect stopping point. I just don't want to, but guys, I gotta go to bed. All right, Wixom, bet. I'm just kidding. We'll keep going. We'll keep going for a little bit longer. Okay, just know I love you guys. If I start saying things that don't make sense, just know I've been watching court for now about 14 hours straight. So there we go. That's why I usually stop at about this point. But let's go.
Raise your right hand. Do you affirm or obtain penalties of perjury? Testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Have a seat.
Can you say your name for the record, please?
Sean Bennett, Bennett.
Your employed with the Chicago Police Department, how long have you been there?
21 years.
Your role is employed?
I'm a lieutenant on day shift. So I supervise the A shift and field calls for service.
And I want to direct your attention to June 9th of 2025. You called to in regard to a theft investigation at Broken.
Yes.
And how did you get involved with that?
It was a dispatch call. For a shoplifting theft call.
So were you able to make contact with the man for the Broken?
Yes, Jim.
That Jim Loggins?
It is.
Okay. And so was Jim able to provide you with the information on Broken?
Yeah, he explained what was going on, and what they discovered in the store, and showed me. I think he had the boots, the box, the mismatched boots in the back office. Where they usually bring a spectator and show us video in the back office.
So have you had a chance to, did they show you that surveillance video that was shown?
They did. And when he showed me that video, he explained what I was looking at versus the difference in the soles of what you could see. And that
All right, it's been decided. It's been decided. I am sorry, guys. I am not going to push forward. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Sorry, Wixom. I know you tried. You tried your hardest, but no, I'm not doing the dance monkey thing. So I am going to end it here. This is a perfect place to start tomorrow, right before the officer testifies. We're at exactly the 50% mark, and if I play, I can't start and stop the officer testimony because it's an hour long, and then after the officer, they go into closing. So I can't do it. We can't do it. I don't want to stream till midnight tonight. So I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it. I do apologize everybody who wanted to watch the rest of it. But I did say in the intro this is gonna be a two-part because it's a 2.5 hour long video. So we're absolutely calling it a night. But I do appreciate everyone hanging out, and I like that there's a lot of engagement in these types of videos. It's not high drama, but it's a great case to watch. There's a lot of legal perspective to it. These are the kind of videos I really like to play. You know, I'm spoiler alert. I don't like watching stop sits. I don't. They were fun at first, and now it's just the same thing over and over again. I don't like covering stop sits. Do I like the courtroom drama? Absolutely, everyone does, which is why I continue to play them. But these are the cases that I like, where you get to see the beginning to the end of an actual hearing, a trial, and that's what I like. So yeah, I appreciate that you guys are hanging out with me tonight. Though, thank you so much for the super chats, the gifted memberships, the membership milestones. You guys are all awesome mods as always. Thank you so much for your hard work. You guys are the unspoken heroes of the channel. But let's see, we're probably gonna raid Lone Wolf tonight. He's probably already going. Wait, what is tonight? Oh, it's Wednesday. We do have booze and body cam. Who did we raid last night? Oh, we raided Kate. We raided who did we raid last night? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. We're gonna raid Lone Wolf. We're just gonna go. We're just gonna go. If it takes me this long to decide, I'm just gonna result in my defaults. We're gonna go KCC guest. That's who we raided last night. Thank you so much, Alan. All right. Go say hi to Lone Wolf for me, and yeah, we're gonna watch the rest of this tomorrow. I'm actually gonna rewind it. Hold on. I know Jedi's gonna remind me of this. Jedi, write this down. 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 8 seconds. That's where we're at in this video. I'm gonna have to rewind it about 2 minutes because I'm gonna want to cover the beginning of the officer being called. But I know you'll remind me. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. Go tell Lone Wolf I said hello. And again, thank you so much. Again, sorry I'm gonna cut this off. I can't do a 3-hour stream. I can't. That's it. That's all I got. Till next time, bye. Oh, I need to load my outro. It's not loaded. This is halfway through the video. All right, hold on. Here we go.